Okay, this is Rein Vaska from Vaska Films, and today we're going to be taking a look at tracking, because if you don't know how to track your life in After Effects, it's going to be terrible, because it really is, because keyframing takes one heck of a lot too much time. So, today, I know it's the same shot as my Premiere color grading, but it has something to track. So, we're going to be tracking that bucket. Really exciting, huh? I didn't want to pick something too complicated because, if you want to track something complicated, use Mocha. And you don't know how to use Mocha, so watch tutorials on how to use Mocha, because I don't even know how to use Mocha. So, you see through the clip that this bucket just kind of, sways a little bit. So, again, I use this nice widescreen and cinematic angle, but just showing you how to do that if you haven't seen the other one. It's just that, so as you can tell, I just made this composition 1920 by 800, and then you see that I have this clip here, and if I wanted, I could, move it around as you do. So that works for me right here, right now, because this isn't a real movie film. So, yeah, if you haven't seen the other tutorial, this is also from Invasion, so not edited, not color graded either. But this is not, this is tracking. Tracking is very important. So first thing you're going to want to do is have your clip selected and then hit tracker. But it's probably not right there. I mean, I keep it there because that's how my layout is. But if you go into Window, where it says Tracker, I'm not sure why mine doesn't show up, but anyway, if you hold on, try that again. Window, Tracker, then it'll show you it wherever your tracker is. So yeah, that's nice. So now with this tracker, I'm not going to track through the whole clip because that's going to take a really long time. So I'm just going to do like some little, little segment of it. So, now what you're going to want to do is first, well, this is what I like to do, is zoom into what you're going to track, okay? And then you hit track motion. Now, the camera I'm using, sorry, you actually have to zoom in later. The camera I'm using has this terrible function where somehow everything thinks it's this size when it's really not. So it makes everything look awkward like this. But as you see in the composition, it's not awkward like that. So, yeah. So I'm going to go in here and zoom into what I'm trying to track. So hopefully your camera doesn't do this to you. But, so then you can, well, you know what? Okay. I'm just going to, whatever. So I'm just going to do this again. Track motion. So it's going to start you out with the tracker here. And then I'm going to zoom into the point I want to track right there. And then you notice that if you click in here, you can move the tracker around, and then it kind of bulges out right here. So since I want to track that corner, and also I've been doing tracking for a while, so sometimes I forget to say this, but you've got to find a point of high contrast. Like, if you were trying to like track this, that would work because there's like a big difference there. But if you were trying to track, let me see, like, well, that might work. If you're trying to track, like, right there, like there was something right there you needed to track, then, or like right there, for example, it would not pick it up because all the ground looks the same. Well, not really, but like, you would have to be really good at tracking to find that. So, just find a point of high, get the idea. So then this is what it's looking for. So this is what it's tracking. So if you make this really big, then it's tracking all that, looking for all that. But if you make it really small, it's only looking for that. So it only for this, it only needs to look at that, about that. So now this thing is where it's gonna look for it. So if you set this huge, like the entire screen, it's gonna take forever to track. If you set it really small, it's gonna track really quickly. So the idea here is like, if you specifically know your thing is gonna move from this side of the screen to that side of the screen, then you'd say, well, you know, set it kind of like that way, because you know it's not even gonna move up and down at all. But this is only like movement in one frame, so you probably don't need to set it very big. Now that we have that, this is, by the way, a track that had just position. I'll go over rotation and scale later, but for now you just hit this little analyze, and boom. So this doesn't move very much, so it's probably gonna get it perfectly. And you know, just kind of swings a little bit, and wait for it. Yay, it's done. And now if you scrub through your footage, it stays right there. But now, if you go back into the composition, there's nothing there. And that is, of course, because you haven't, this is still in the layer in your clip here. So what you're going to want to do is create a null object, and if you don't know what a null object is, it's basically something that it never renders. It's just something that, you know, it's there. Usually just move it and keyframe it and parent it and have other things be parented to it. It's basically, there's probably like Surface Studio has a really great tutorial on all about null objects, and I'll probably put a link like right there. So click right there. But so you actually don't even need to put the null. So just control click new object, or you could go up here, layer, new object. Okay. Then what you're gonna essentially be doing here is that going into here and making the movement of that little tracker thing make the null move that way. Okay, so then what you want to do is, while you have this selected, if you don't have it selected, that's odd. Anyway, just select it and then hit edit target, and then you can, you know, null 2, it's the only thing you can. Okay, and then you have to apply X and Y. Okay, and now if I ram preview, it's not going to show me the null because the null never shows up, but if I play it, you can see that null's corner is staying right there. Although this is a great example clip because the bucket moves like just a few pixels pretty much. You really have to zoom in to tell what it's doing. But like, you know, you can kind of look here and see that it is following it. So that seriously beats going through like the entire way and you know, putting all that stuff. It's really annoying. Keyframing, so that's way better. Although if something's moving wildly and there's crazy motion blur, it can't do that. I mean, yeah. But for the most part, it's a pretty good strategy. Now I'm going to, just for fun, put some text. The heck are my tools? Alright, that's odd. Never seen it do that before. Must have turned it off when I was trying to show you to do the tracker. So then text tool, text. Now ain't that original? That's, you know what? I'm just gonna leave it like that because I feel like it. So now you have your text. Now you just parent it, which is basically moving how other things move. Well, first of all, I'm going to zoom in and move it down so it's like, you know, kind of hanging. And then parent it to the null. And now, if you ran preview, the text is like hanging out there on the bottom of it. You know? Ready, set. So, yeah. And that is how you do tracking. But Now I'm going to get more advanced and show you how to do tracking with rotation. So I'm going to leave this tracker in kind of there. And I'm going to go in the clip and hit track motion. And then I'm going to track how the bottom of this moves. So I'm going to put this on one end and then hit this little rotation thing. And then another one will show up. And then what you want to do is put that on another point where it will be able to, you know, kind of sort of find. And then what it'll try to do is see these 2 points here and how they like kind of move around, kind of, you know, if that makes sense. So then, well, I should be at the first part of the clip. Get that there, get that there. Okay, now you just hit the same button and this isn't a great example clip, but oh, it's tracking more than the composition or the little workspace. So then now what I'm going to do is edit target, null 2, okay, apply X and Y, and now you will notice that it is like clinged onto the bottom, kinda, you know? So what I'm gonna do now, just to show that that actually does do something, is make solid, and you can go up here and layer new solid as well. And sure, orange solid, and then just make it smaller. And by the way, I might do one of these tutorials on keyboard shortcuts because it's really helpful. So then you could just kind of stick that there, make a long little beam, I don't know, and come back to fit, and then parent this to the null. Always remember to do that or else it won't do much. And now you can see that when the thingy kind of rotates, this is, you know, I should have chosen a clip that had more rotating stuff, but you can see how it's kind of moving like that. And also the scale is pretty straightforward. It's pretty much like the normal thing. There's no second or third track point. It just, you know, just sees if it gets big or small. So I think that is it for this tracking tutorial. And remember, yeah, this is a really great technique. And, yeah. So, I think that's it. Check out